Well, it's almost afternoon, but it's still before 12, so good morning, my darlings. Do excuse the mess that's behind me, it will always be there. Well, I've had quite the interesting morning, and I have been speaking. I will find his name in one moment. Big Fat Cloud. So I'm going to try and help you, my love. This is called bouncing back and coping with things that are getting at us, coping with adversity and learning how to grow a thick skin. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And the hardest thing in the universe is reaching out for some help when things are really hitting the fan. I always say, if you find yourself in hell, walk around as though you own the damn place, because it's the only way. You have to find your way of coping and bouncing back from really terrible situations. It's the art of survival, if you like. It's the, I don't have to outrun the bear, I just have to outrun the person that's next to me. Which is, might sound very callous, but if you have to survive and it's your survival that's at stake and that of your family, then by hook or by crook you will do whatever it takes in order to survive, and you will find your way, just like I found my way. And what worked for me may not work for you. I never give financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, and it would be wrong of me to financially advise you. But what I can tell you is how I managed to get from where I was to where I am now. And it has not been the easiest journey ever. In fact, it is the hardest thing I have ever had to do in my adult life. I would say from a work point of view, it's been the hardest thing I've had to do. From an emotional point of view, wow, have I been put through the ringer while this has been going on at the same time. My husband and I, we lost our only son 24 years ago. And full enough, we've been together for 24 years, so it happened right at the beginning of our relationship, and we just knew at that point that the pair of us were going to hang on to each other, because I love him and he loves me, and with the love of a good person with you, be a man or a woman, you can face these things that come at you like a freight train head on, and you can just bounce them off you, and you will learn how to deflect and bounce things away from you, as though it's water off a duck's back. But believe me, it takes time to get there, and I'm not saying I have all the answers. I don't. But you can have what happened to me, and maybe something from that might help you. I don't know. I hope it will. I really do. From the moment we got together, my husband's a lot older than me as well, by about 15 years. So he's got quite a stable demeanour, if you like. And he's such a great guy. He's a real rock, and he's a sensible person, as I am. And between us, we have forged a way forwards, and raised two darling daughters, and got one through university and one that's almost through university but not quite there yet. she's got another 2 years to go. She was just doing an ordinary bachelor's, and then the tutors decided that she had an innate gift and said, actually, we feel you should go on to a master's and do your bachelor's at the same time. And we just feel that this is the right path for you. And she's not looked back since, and just amazing. She's doing zoology, and she's been taken under the wing of the epidemiologist, and well, as I say, the rest is history. Or it will be when she's finally finished. But great things await that young lady, as great things await my other young lady, who is currently asleep in bed because she's doing a night shift tonight, and she's just an amazing children's nurse, and the NHS is damned lucky to have her. They really are. Anyway, rounding back. My husband and I got together 24 years ago. We lost our first and only son. We got married. We ventured to do our thing. Circumstances overtook us. The financial crash of 2008 bit hard. We lost. We fought a losing battle, and we lost, and we were thrown. It's like a tornado, and just ripped through our lives and threw us everywhere, and we lost everything, right? Then we were lucky to keep the shirts on our backs, and we fought. At that point, we dug our heels in and we fought back. There were many, many people who wanted to see us suffer and crucify us even more after we'd lost everything. And you have to, at that point, you're in hell at that point, and you have to find a way to fight back. Like I said, if you're in hell, walk through as though you own the damn place. Yeah, it's the only way. You've got to have a positive mental attitude. You are going to get through this. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna really leave a mark. You're gonna be scarred for life. But the ass kicking that you're getting now will be a lesson. Yes, a big lesson on who to trust and who not to trust. And believe me, I was so naive. Oh, wow, was I naive. I didn't see it coming until it was too late. And I couldn't get out of the way, and I just had to have the freight train just go straight over me. And then once you've rolled around in the dirt and you've done your battle scars and you've had your pity party and you've had your crying session and you've had the whoa, why me, boo-hoo-hoo. If you don't get back up on your feet, you are never gonna do it. So pull yourself up by your bootstraps, strap on your adult underwear and go for it, because there is no option. Failure is not an option. Gene Kranz said that when Apollo 13 had to come back to Earth. He said, failure is not an option. Failure is not an option, especially when you've got young children and they look at you, you're their parent, and they look at you as if to say, well, Mom, Dad, what happens next? We sheltered those girls from everything. They didn't know the half of what we went through, and they never ever will, because I can't go into too much detail as to exactly what happened, because there are still people out there that are after me and they want to still crucify me after all this time. 18 years. You'd think they'd give it a rest, but no. And I've only got 2 words for you, and one of them ends in off. Yeah. I've had it. Your time will come, and given enough rope, eventually you will hang yourselves, and I'll be sat on the sidelines with the popcorn and the 7-Up. That's my favourite pop, by the way. I just love me a 7-Up. I'm also quite partial to a Coca-Cola, but there we are. But 7-Up's really my thing. And don't get me started on Fab Ice Lollies. Oh, wow, wait. Love me a Fab Ice Lolly. It's the 1970s are calling. They want the snacks back. Anyway, after 18 years, you would think that the people that were punishing me and my husband would stop. But no. No, to them it's a little game. But it will backfire on them. It so will. No retreat, no surrender. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You have a responsibility of 2 children. You need to keep a roof over their heads, over your head. You need to feed those children. You need to clothe those children. You have no option but to get back up on your feet. Find your way. Find how you're going to do it. For me, it was I'm good at business. Well, maybe not as good as I thought I was, but good enough to say I'm doing it again, but I'm going to do a different approach this time. And you know, my different approach was this time, I didn't carry any passengers. I work for me, solely for me, on my own. I am responsible for me. The book stops at me, right? I am responsible for the entire family. My husband is responsible for the entire family. And between us, we pulled together. We locked hands, we pulled together, we wrapped our hands around the children, and we said no one is taking anything else from us. We are here. We will protect our babies. And we did. And we started the current business that I have now in 2011, and I never looked back. That's the only thing you can do in a situation where you've had everything ripped from you, is you just got to let that go. Hard as it may be, you have to let it go. If you let it fester, it will affect the business that you have now, and it will stop you from moving forward and bringing your business forward. And as painful as that is, you have it to do. You have to move forwards. Alright? And some days it's like you're walking backwards through treacle, but you're still moving. They haven't killed you. Right? That's the worst thing you can do, is to let your enemies see you down, and they will really come in for the kill. No, you have to get up. You gotta look them dead in the eye and say, you can't break me. You will never break me. You will never break my spirit. It's just not yours. You will never have it. You will never own it. You will never have me. And bitter. Maybe I am. Maybe I am very bitter. But it's that anger and that pain that has driven me forwards and has made me make a success of my life. And while they're still back there, trying as they might to try and cause our downfall, they're really only causing their own. They're really only causing themselves pain, because I'm waving on and saying, well, look at me now. You couldn't break me then. You sure as shit ain't breaking me now. And that is the positive mental attitude that you have to have, right? I cannot give you financial advice about how we got here, because that is not open for discussion. And I cannot tell you what I did, because that, again, is not open for discussion. And I cannot tell you the business that I am running now, because you'd be bored to tears with it. You truly, truly would. Although, let's just say, it has done wonders for my mental state and has made me feel brilliant about going forwards in life. I love my new business. I love the people that I work with. I think that they're fantastic people and they have been there for me when no one else would be. And I will protect them as well going forwards. My business it's a fun environment and a safe environment for me. It helps to take care of everything and all our needs. It's there. And it has enabled me to find the time to come and sit here and talk to you and to tell you that you might be in a very dark place, but you can bounce back and you will bounce back. Just find that thing that makes you happy and do lots of that. For me, I love to iron. I will iron all the long day gone, listening to a play, watching something on YouTube, listening to music. Monty, my little cat, he's an absolute joy and he's a blessing. He's came to us around about the 22nd, 24th of March. We've had him for 16 weeks because it's 31 weeks today. And there's a little guy, yeah, born on the streets of Leeds. Hadn't got a mummy or a daddy when they found him at around about 7 or 8 weeks. He was half starved, eating garbage, full of worms and fleas, nearly died. He was so poorly when he was handed into the RSPCA because a passerby just found him on the streets and just thought, oh dear. So they took him into the RSPCA and the RSPCA saved his life. So good on you guys. They nursed him back to health and we happened to spot Monty and thought, we can't leave him. Leave nobody behind, knowing where your buddy is. And we knew where our little buddy was. He was at the RSPCA waiting to be picked up by us. And we'd really, the week before, lost our old lad, Orca, to the most aggressive cancer I have ever seen. The tumour was ginormous and it grew in a week. Orca couldn't eat, he couldn't drink, he was screaming in agony. And on Mother's Day, he became so poorly that we thought we'd have to have him put down on Mother's Day. And it was Monday the 11th of March at 11 in the morning that our darling boy was taken from us. And I do miss him. I miss him tremendous amount. And we had him cremated. And then we just happened to be on the RSPCA page talking to them and telling them that he'd gone. And we noticed that there was this little guy and he was just a scrap. He was so small, had a tiny little tail, and he was so thin, and he was still recovering. And we said, we'll take him. We'll give him a home. He needs a home. He needs someone to love him and make him better. So we filled in all the adoption paperwork and we gave Monty a home. In fact, we were in Paris on the Tuesday. We'd literally seen the lady from the RSPCA and filled out all the paperwork on the Monday. And it was Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the days. It might have been the Wednesday because we flew on the Tuesday. And yeah, it was the Wednesday. And we were sat outside the Sacre-Cœur in a coffee shop, enjoying a coffee and just generally relaxing. And the phone call came through that we'd been successful, and we were Monty's new adopted parents. And we were so excited that we had to find a pet shop in Paris, and we did. And we bought him a feeding mat. On the one side is Mona Lisa, and on the other side is the Cat Noir, which is the black cat, sort of where the Folly Bijous go and do the can-canning. Next door to the windmill is the black cat, it's in the red light district. But hey, there you go. Your parents have bought you something, son, from the red light district. Enjoy. What can I say? And we adopted Monty, and he's been with us for 16 weeks, and we love the little guy. And you see, you just don't know when the hand of opportunity is going to come down. And just like we adopted Monty and rescued him from being on the streets, we rescued ourselves at the same time. And Monty is a constant reminder that no matter how bad things get, things can turn around, and they do. They might not seem like it at the time. It might seem like the most desperate situation that you will ever find yourselves in. But you can and you will find a way out of it by working as a team, holding on to each other, protecting what's yours, protecting what's left, and wrapping your arms around it and putting a ring of steel so hard that no one can get through. I mean, talk about circling the wagons. Boy, oh boy, did we. And things were desperate. We were financially crippled. We had times when there was literally no food in the house. There was no way of paying bills. And yet we hung on and we fought back, and we just said, no, you're not having it. You're not taking it. The more somebody comes at you and says, I'm having it, the more you dig your heels in and say, you are not taking this. You know, it's not been easy. You just do what we did. Start another business. Start it with absolutely nothing. Just pick up your iron and get ironing. Yeah. Like I said, failure is not an option. And we just started up and got going. And I say the rest is history. And 13 years on, we're still in business. We still aren't broken. I am unbreakable. At this point, there is literally nothing you can throw at me that I have not bounced back at you. And they tried to take my husband. He had a heart attack in 2016 when I had literally just turned 40. I had my 40th birthday, and the day after he keeled over and had a heart attack. It was quite a nasty one. And thank you to everybody at LGI in Leeds who saved his life. Because the failure then was not an option, right? I was not going to be a widow with 2 young girls. No. That was not going to happen. And my husband fought. And he fought back. And he survived. And he's on medication, and he'll be on that for the rest of his life. But you know what? Whatever doesn't kill you, it sure is better start running. I nearly swore then. Swearing's not good. Never get yourself into such a state where the only thing that could come out your mouth would make a sailor blush. Right? And I say that because my husband's actually a sailor. Yeah. He's an officer, or was. And yes, he was in the Navy. And he was a ship's engine. He was an engineer. Yeah. So, woohoo. They do say girls fall in love with the boys in blue. Yeah, so my husband wouldn't quit then. You know, his answer is no retreat, no surrender. I do not quit on you. You do not quit on me. We do not quit on the kids. Or Monty. Right? We are a family. We stick together. We fight it out. And we will make it. Because we've got each other. And you just need to surround yourself with people that are singing from the same hymn sheet as you. Right? And you need to deflect and push away and banish people that do you wrong. If they're going to do you a dirty, you get rid. But there's a caveat to that. Perhaps there's just one that's the devil incarnate themselves. And you hang on to that one, because in doing so, you get to watch their next move and you can jump out of the way before they've done it. Thus, watching them tie themselves in knots. It's actually good therapy for the soul, that one is. Yeah, you know who you are. Yes, you do. And I'm watching you. Yes, I am. You will not break me. No, you won't. You tried. You come damn near close to crucifying me. But I fought back. And I'm watching you. And that's the attitude you've got to have. Yeah. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Corleone. Don Corleone. He said that. And there's a lot of truth to it. Yeah. Yeah, just keeping an eye on the one that causes the most pain, so you can jump out of the way when they try and strike you in. Oh, they're like vipers. And you're just going to go... And they're so dizzy from being battered over the head by you, metaphorically, that is. I'm not doing it physically. That, you know, they're tying themselves in knots, and then they are like, how did I get here? Oh, let me count the ways. Sarcasm. Oh, you're going to need bucket loads of sarcasm. You really are, to be able to fight back. And a gallows sense of humour. Absolutely. That goes without saying, you know. You know things are bad. Things are terrible. But remember this, kids. The beatings will continue until morale improves. So get on with it. Jog on. You can do it. I know that you can do it, and you can be like me and end up with rhino hide, because after a certain amount of years and a certain amount of time, nothing can hurt you anymore, because you've had all the hurt that you're ever going to get, right? They can't take it from you if you don't let them, right? And the one tiny piece of financial advice I will give is get yourself a financial plan together and work out of all your creditors who's going to get what. Okay? And you usually do that through a solicitor. And then stick to that plan. And I've always said, you can have a whole lot of nothing or a little bit of something. You pick. You choose. You can guarantee, you can pet your backside that they will say, I will have a little bit of something. And then everybody gets a little bit of something. And because you stick to that, and they stick to that, they can't hurt you, and you can't hurt them. And that is a nice way to deal with it. right? And that is one of the ways that we dealt with it. Not easy. Takes balls of steel to be able to do that. Sleepless nights, my goodness me, I've had the lot. Insomnia, still suffer from it, but it's not as bad, I must admit. 18 years on, it is getting a little easier. Yeah. And I'm finding a new and a different way to approach life, because I'm accepting my years. I'm 48. I'm moving into my more mature years. I'm not saying that the last lot were immature, far from it, but they're more my maturing years, and I'm changing. I'm going through the menopause. Yeah, every day is a different set of emotions that go through. I haven't actually quite chased anybody with a bread knife yet, but that day may come. Look forward to it. It might be you that I'm after with it. You never know, you're looking a raffle. You really don't. And so the menopause, I'm going through that, which is, again, a whole new set of rules on how your body behaves and how you behave. And again, sarcasm. You're going to need lots of sarcasm and gallows humour and boss it. You've got to boss the situation. Yeah, plenty of that. So, yeah, that's how we got through it, by holding on to each other and wrapping our arms around our children and vowing there and then they can't hurt us if we don't let them. They can't break us if we don't let them. So find your way to dance in the rain. You can do it. It's deep within your soul. There is a survival instinct in everybody. I don't care if they say that I ain't a survivor, I'm a lover, not a fighter. When they're coming at you, you'll soon find out what your survival instincts are, and you will soon find out how good you are in hot water. What's that Eleanor Roosevelt saying? Women are like tea bags. You don't know how strong they are until you find them in hot water. There you are. I hope this has cleared anything up. Or maybe you've got more questions. Certain things I can't answer, and certain things I certainly won't be answering. But if you're wanting a morale boost, I can certainly do that. Yeah. Take care of yourselves, my darlings. And until next time, the art of survival, I present you me and the way that my backside got kicked. And we made it. Take care, my darlings. Bye bye.